What is going on, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? It's your friend Joker back here again today with some Prime Day deals that you are not going to want to miss if you are a PC gamer. We've got some fantastic deals on a lot of different products, different components you might need for your PC, and some of them are just absolutely insane. So first up, we're going to start with an SSD from Samsung, the 990 Pro, one of the fastest NVMe's out there, great for the PS5 and things like that. So this is one of those blazing fast, top-of-the-line SSDs, and I cannot believe that the price is only $70 for a 1 terabyte drive. That is absolutely B-A-N-A-N-A-S bananas. And they also have the 2 terabyte, honestly, also such a good deal. I would go for this one. More storage is always going to be better. $130 for a top-of-the-line SSD. And they also have it with a heatsink. Let's see if that's also on offer. $180 with the heatsink. I'll be honest with you, I have an NVMe in my PS5 without a heatsink, and it has been absolutely fine. They recommend one, but really I haven't had a single issue with my drive, which is actually even a little bit under spec for the PS5. Works absolutely fine, though, for all of my PS5 games, so if you did need it for that, honestly, you could try it without the heatsink. I think you'll be okay. Mine's been in there for almost 2 years now, and it hasn't had any issues whatsoever. Next up, you're not going to believe these Ryzen deals on some of these processors. They got the Ryzen 5 5600X, so it's last gen, but still very, very good, and it's going to give you Gen 4 support for PCI if you want to take advantage of like the SSD that we just showed. But the 5600X is $133 with an included heatsink, mind you, which is pretty good. It's not anything amazing, but you know what? They'll do the job if you don't want to spend any more money on a cooler. $133. And if you are we got some more Ryzen processors here that are just going to blow your mind, the prices that they're selling these things at, even 12 cores. But if you are building a PC, you're also going to need a Windows key. So that brings us to today's sponsor, Super CDK, where you could save money on all sorts of different software like Windows 10 Pro, Windows 11, Office products, and you can get an additional 25% off at checkout with my code JP25. And right now they are running their summer promotion. So you can see you can get Windows 10 Pro. Regularly, it's just $23. And so if we go ahead and click buy now on that, come into the promotion code area and just type in that JP25. Oop, accidentally held shift through that. JP25 at checkout. Hit apply, and that'll bring the price down to $17.26, and then you can upgrade for free to Windows 11. So if you get Windows 10 Pro and you want to be on Windows 11 for your new machine, for whatever reason, personally I still prefer Windows 10, but you can upgrade for completely free to Windows 11 with this OEM CD key, which you'll get in a couple of seconds in your email, and then just go ahead and hit the Windows key on your keyboard and just type in the word activate, and you can click on activation settings when it pops up right there. And if you didn't have a Windows copy that was activated here, it would tell you to enter your product key so you can unlock all sorts of things like custom colors, dark mode, and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. But you just go ahead and paste your code in here, and then you're good to go. Now, if you wanted to, you could buy Windows 11. That's $30.04 for the Windows 11 Pro version. You could go ahead and buy that. And again, go ahead and use that code for this as well, JP25 at checkout, hit apply. Boom, that brings the price down to $22.53. So if you don't want to have to go through the process of upgrading to Windows 11, you can go ahead and grab for $22.53, or like I said, grab the Windows 10 Pro, upgrade for free. Save yourself a few dollars more even, which is still going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than buying them directly from Microsoft for these legit OEM keys. So be sure to hit up Super CDK down in the links below so you could save yourself money on Windows 10 today with that 25% off code JP25. Now, back to the components over on Amazon. We saw the 5600X. The 5900X is also shockingly on sale at half off for 12 cores, 24 threads for $275. That is ridiculous. That is such a good deal. Go ahead and pair it with a good B650 motherboard, and man, you'll be off to the races and running. You don't need to go crazy on the motherboard or anything like that. Get like the Asus Prime board, I believe, was actually on sale. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Asus, I thought I had it pulled up before, but I guess it went away. B650. I think it was Asus Prime B650. Yeah, this guy right here, 160 bucks. I've used these in my test systems for years because they're an affordable basic motherboard, and I honestly don't need all the bells and whistles. But, you know, you'll get everything that B650 has here. It's an Asus Prime board, so it's a good quality board. It just doesn't have, like, a ton of connectivity on the back. You're limited here. It looks like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, like maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 USB 3 ports back there. So not a ton of connectivity, but they get the job done, and they're solid. And I've never had an issue with an Asus Prime board. I've overclocked on them, and they're great. It's not going to be the top-of-the-line $600 motherboard, but if you're looking to save money, this will be a good option if you pick up one of those Ryzen processors, which there's actually one more now, not on last gen. This is just crazy to me. A 7900X is $356, down from $550, the original list price. Now, regularly, these have been selling for around $499. They've been on like offer or just an unofficial price reduction for months. But for $356, man, how can you argue with that? Again, 12 cores, 24 threads. It's going to be a little bit faster than the 5900X that we looked at previously, but it is like $100 more. So, you know, weigh those options. If you think the extra performance is worth it on the 7900X, then go with that. This thing would be fantastic for not just gaming, but also productivity without going all the way up to the 16 core. So definitely worth looking at. Next one, this is something that I include in my Prime Day and Black Friday deals all the time. Why? The Logitech G305 mouse, my mouse of choice. This is my black one that I got when these first came out, and it's still going strong. And I think I've had to change the single AA battery in here maybe 3 times in 4 years. That's how long these things are. They promise 9 months of battery life on a single battery. And I would say that that's pretty accurate to maybe even underestimating how long the batteries go on these things. And they do come in a wide variety of colors. And right now they're marked down to $30. Usually they're $50. So even at $50, they're very reasonable. But they've got this mint green one here for $50. The blue is also $30. I was looking at the other colors are a little bit more. The Prime Day sale really seems to apply to the mint and the blue. If you want the lilac, the white, or the black, you're going to have to spend a little bit more. So those color schemes might not fit into your setup, but the black one is $40, which is still a little bit of a deal. And honestly, these things are well worth it at $50. I freaking love my G305. I own 4 of them, I believe. I have one at my test setup. I have a white one that I keep in my work bag if I ever have to go to someone's house and help them with their PC. I usually bring my own wireless mouse because I don't want to be bothered with whatever kind of peasantry they happen to be using. And I also have a purple one that my girlfriend got me for Christmas one year and then stole it because she loved it so much. It's what happens. What can I say? I've got enough to go around. So she did steal the lilac mouse that she gave to me. So a little bit of an Indian giver on that one. Can I get away with saying Indian giver in 2023? Probably not. Don't cancel me. Next up, not a PC part at all. This is an Instant Pot, but I love recommending these in these videos because people don't expect it, and I have to sneeze. God damn it, I had to sneeze and I lost it. That is the worst thing. Oh my God, I'd rather shit my pants than have to sneeze and then lose it. That is terrible. Hopefully it comes back and I can find some relief. But the Instant Pot, me and my fiance use this thing all the time to make weeknight meals, to keep things warm, even sous vide, which is one of the best ways ever to cook so many different meats, steaks, roasts that you can cook in there for like 24 hours. Just fantastic. Or if you just want to use it as a pressure cooker, you can make all sorts of things in here quickly. We do a Mississippi pot roast, which is basically a chuck roast. You dump in a whole jar of pepperoncinis, a packet of ranch seasoning, and a packet of McCormick au jus seasoning, and some liquid. And that's it. It's done in an hour, and it is fall apart, shredded tender, and you literally just dump the shit in. You don't have to do anything else. I do brown the meat first because I want to get that crust, but it's honestly optional, but it is better if you put a little bit of a crust. But you can sear right inside these things. It has a sear functionality. But if you look at the buttons on there, there is actually a sous vide. So if you're familiar with sous vide, that means you can put like a steak in like a Ziploc bag or a food saver bag and set this thing to the exact temperature that you want it. So if you want a medium rare steak, you can set this thing to 135. It'll take anywhere from an hour or two, depending on how thick your steak is. You can even put it in there straight from frozen, and it'll just take maybe another half hour or so longer. but it will make you the best, most perfect steak you've ever had in your life. You could throw in some garlic bulbs and some thyme and rosemary in there, and that'll sort of perfume the steak as it cooks. And then when it's done, you just take it out, pat it dry, because there's going to be some condensation from the Ziploc bag that it's in, and then you just go ahead and throw it either on the grill, really hot and fast for like a minute each side just to get some color, or my favorite way is put it into a cast iron pan with some butter and that garlic and thyme rosemary, and then baste it with the brown butter. Perfection. Perfection. Instant Pots are just a great thing to have. Not a sponsor, just really love them. This one happens to be $100. They have other ones that are like $150, $200 that'll be, say like, oh, it's 12 in one versus 9 in one. Don't spend money on all that extra shit. It just adds extra buttons to it. And realistically, the only buttons you're ever going to use are pressure cook, saute, sous vide, and keep warm. You don't need the fucking yogurt button. You don't need the rice button. The rice button actually overcooks the white rice. You can make what this thing works as a rice cooker. So if you press the rice button, it cooks it for 12 minutes and you get mushy, shitty rice. Don't do that. Do equal parts water to your rice after your rice has been rinsed, and then set it to 10 minutes on pressure cook and let it manually release the pressure when it's done. Perfect rice, just as good as a takeaway from Chinese food or one of the best top-of-the-line rice cookers out there. Cannot recommend Instant Pots enough. Now, graphics cards, you know, these are on sale, but not massive sales. We've got some here 30% off. RTX 3060 for $294, which realistically, when these things came out, they were priced too high. So it's really hard to say that any of these are really, you know, spectacular deals. I did see one here that I thought was pretty reasonable. Yeah, the 6700 XT for $300 is pretty reasonable. It launched at $370, but, you know, there's a lot of graphics cards on here. A year ago, we couldn't even have had this conversation. Like, everything would have been sold out and selling for triple on eBay or OfferUp or what have you. So the fact that you can even buy cards now at reasonable, regular prices, which aren't reasonable anyway, but that's just the way PC gaming go here in 2023. So that's going to wrap it up for this year's Prime Day deals. Not as many as many items as I would have liked to include, but some of the other items that they're marking as on sale just really aren't that big of offers. But if you find anything else that I might have missed and not recommended here that maybe you've either personally used or whatever, feel free to stick it down in the comments below and let me know about it, and I will go ahead and add it in to the description, which is going to be down there with all the links for everything that we looked at here today. So it's going to have all the links, which I get a little bit of commission on if you guys use those. Even if you don't buy anything I recommended, just click one of my links to get you over to Amazon, and then go find your own Prime Day deals if you're going to look for other stuff, what have you. Because even if you click on that, it goes into your browser with like cookies for like 24 hours. So anything you buy on Amazon after clicking my link, it's going to get me a little commission, a little kickback, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, just one click. Just like the like button and that subscribe button. So be sure to hit those as well. And you all have a fantastic day. Peace.